Alrighty, welcome to a Thursday. We're going to talk a little bit about air quality and the forecast, which calls for some heat. Got the dogs going over here. I don't know how much barking you're going to hear, but that's fine because I'm at home, not at work. Okay, so we got smoke showing up in the Bay Area. There's an air quality alert, but it's mostly higher level smoke. So it's not really creating as much a problem as it could. This is what smoke looks like on a bad day. This is the worst day I could ever remember that I think any of us can remember. This was the campfire up in Chico Paradise. I was up there that day. I was in Chico and then in Paradise during the fire. We'll talk about that another time. But I remember Chico at about noon looked like about 10 o'clock at night. It was so much smoke. I'd never seen anything like it. And that smoke, as you can see, worked its way down into the Bay Area. And that created all sorts of, some of the worst air quality. I think we were at one point had the worst air quality in the world, which is hard to do when you consider China and some of the industrialized areas that have coal plants that do create a lot of particulate matter. But this is how it looked at that day in Paradise, and it was ugly. It was ugly for sure, but nothing like that today. Pretty nice around here for the most part. This is a website, though, that I'd like you to get your hands on. This is, you probably know this. The websites, like we talked the other day about watchduty.org, the fire website. We talked about the satellite imagery and how to use that. We're talking about now these air quality sites, which are so important. These are surface sites measuring particulate matter. Not so much, some of them measure ozone and whatever, but most of these are measuring particulate matter, which is just smoke particulate or dust particulate. And it's the kind of thing that can get into your lung and cause an infection. This is a good source. This updated, it's not just around here, it's all the way across the country, right? And I think it'll populate here. And you'll see on the East Coast they're having a heat wave, so it's going to look like a fire out there when it fills in. You'll see lots of yellows and reds, right? But there may be a few fires, but a lot of that is just weather related, right? Poor air quality because of inversion. We get low shallow inversions, heat waves. We often see the air quality just plummet. So a really good site for air quality. And I talk about air quality a lot only because right now we're like, okay, yeah, air quality is a big deal. It's a huge deal. It's not just a big deal, it's a huge deal. And they're more and more making correlations between our health, direct health, and air quality, whether they be chronic diseases or pre-existing conditions. Air quality can really exacerbate it. And if you have asthma or anything, heat exacerbates things too, but air quality is you can't get away from bad air, not easily. And so we in California on the West Coast have one of the best air quality regimes on the planet for an urban center because everything's coming off the Pacific. We got thousands of miles of beautiful blue Pacific Ocean that the landmass particulate that comes off from Asia, as it comes our way, it's got 4,000 miles to get cleaned up. That's if you live in Ohio or if you live in Europe, everything from the United States is the westerly flow, right? Everything migrates. So our air quality unreal. And as more and more these related issues, health issues, get connected to air quality, you watch what your home price does, because even though we get spare the air days and we have Livermore Valley inversions and things like that, we also have literally some of the best air on the planet Earth for an urban center. So purpleair.com, purpleair.com. This is a smoke model just representing the next few days, next couple hours. We're going to see smoke at a lesser level, but we might see air quality alerts all weekend. The North Bay has the best chance for a real smoke issue as we go into tonight and tomorrow morning. What happens with the smoke is, right, at night and in the morning, the air cools and it sinks. And with that, the smoke cools and sinks. So the air quality goes to hell in the mornings and late evenings. And then in the afternoon, it actually, everything gets lifted, right? The inversion usually stretches out as things warm up. There's fog along the coast right now. There it is. Let's see, that's Ocean Beach. I should load up. And it's not a real nice day out there, but if you don't like heat and you don't like lousy air quality or not great air quality, you're going to get a pretty good run out at the beach. There, it lives up for us a little bit. And then we can also go down to Point Conception. I always like this camera just because it's at the tip of Point Conception, essentially. Used to be part of it's called Halama. It used to be part of the old Bixby Ranch. It was the Bixby Ranch. It still is. but I think it was an old Spanish land grant. It's huge. It's surfers know Point Conception. I mean, it's a private land base area, and there's a lot of good surf there. This is the idea that we're going to see a heat advisory, or certainly are seeing a heat advisory, but it could turn into an excessive heat warning on Saturday. And you can see the areas impacted, right? So you look kind of right. Let's see if I can pull that up a little bit. You can see the Bay Area, certainly Livermore Valley, Concord, parts of Santa Rosa, Rincon Valley, parts of eastern San Jose, Morgan Hill. So we'll see how that goes. It's going to certainly increase the fire danger again. It certainly does not help with air quality. And again, heat is hard on people. That's why we issue these advisories and warnings. Okay, so remember, purpleair.com. Appreciate you hanging on this long, and we'll see you soon.